It's time for a little Funky Friday. From their funky hidden headquarters, your hosts, Keith and Gary. Not Jerry.
It's Friday! Happy end of the fucking week for you people that actually understand the meaning of that don't work 7 days a week like me. Because I don't even know what day of the week it is half the time if I didn't have a calendar.
Yeah, I don't work 7 days a week at all, ever. No, never done it. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh my God, it's Danny! Where's my panties?
Hold on a second. I wanted to pull him up before you said anything because he looks so sad. He's just sitting with his eyes.
Here. He had to be on with you. What do you expect?
Danny. What's up, Danny?
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. Hey.
Hi, Danny.
You got a new cloth behind you.
New clock? No clock.
Cloth.
No. I just took took that guy off of this and put it there at the recommendation of somebody from another show. They said that they like this new angle better, but they didn't like this empty space, and I got to get
because it looks like you're blocking some of the background. It's black.
Mm-hmm.
What is
Hi,
it?
Danny.
That was a curtain. I got a new curtain put up. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I did that yesterday.
Hi, Danny.
Yeah, I know. Saying cloth instead of curtain is confusing.
Oh, I thought you said clock. Okay.
No, I say cock.
Well, it could be a white cock.
Less than 2 minutes.
It's terribly pathetic how much that
I meant
that how
rooster.
much that hurt
I'm
me
not cussing. That's not cussing. I said rooster.
A cock is not swearing.
Why are you filthy mind today, Martin? I am curious.
Well, he was talking about masturbating in the back room. So.
Oh, that's true. So first in the house today is Don't Call Me Wave. How are you doing, my friend? Penny is here, Dork Knight's mother. Socks Bulletin is here. I'm always glad. I always post over on his group on Facebook, knowing that he's going to see it at least there. Anima Confusa, the love of my life, is here. Let's see. I'm not going to mention anybody that's on the panel. Let's see.
Fine, be that way.
And Lauren is here. She's also physically here behind me, but she's in the chat. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Hopefully the numbers will get up to normal within the first half hour. But Danny, thanks for dropping in, buddy. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, the morning shows.
I'm going to switch you with Martin.
Okay.
Hi, Danny.
Hey.
And I'm going to switch you with Steven, because Steven is my co-host of the show. So,
Victim.
But, by the way, if you did not hear, Danny, I've got to cut back on some of my time. So Tuesdays and Friday morning shows need to have a new host or they're not going to exist. If you're interested, let's talk about it. Stephen, your name was brought up first before anybody. And I said, I don't think you could do it because you're already doing a morning stream.
I've been doing a morning stream for 3 years.
Yeah, nobody knows that. They didn't know it until
nobody cares. Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah, that's right. Nobody knew Steven was streaming like 9 or 10 in the morning till noon or 1 ever.
I did.
No, you didn't, John. You
sarcasm, John.
Him.
Sarcasm. The beard took away everything.
Look at that Russian mob.
What?
Yeah? Look at that Russian mobster.
Who? Where?
Dork Knight.
Oh, Dork Knight. Okay.
Why you call me Russian?
What was that comedian that actually, when he's in school, hung out with the Russian mob?
That was Bert Kreischer, and he was, I am the machine!
I am the machine!
Oh, yeah,
love that fucking... Yeah. First time I saw that was on an improv, or not an improv night, but introduction to new comedians. And Norm Macdonald was the host. And absolutely kind of blew my mind how good that was. Why would you call me in the middle of a show? Claude, hold on a second. Claude just called me. He was wanting to talk about some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today.
What are we talking about today?
You know, the story of Kathleen Kennedy put her foot down against Marvel announcing Harrison Ford casting in the Thunderbolts.
Did you guys see the leaked Indiana Jones trailer?
No, I've not seen it.
I seen
Oh my
I
God.
saw the Wakanda Forever one.
I'm not going to get excited about it. I'm not excited about anything.
I don't know if
Can
the
we-
movie. Sorry.
Can we bring one thing up quickly that is very bad? Did anyone else hear the runtime for Wakanda Forever is 2 hours and 41 minutes? Does anyone have a pulse to sit for a Marvel film for 2 hours and 41 minutes? Anybody?
Now, I want to tell you something, Socks.
Elvis was that long, and it was
I
good.
did a video about
I
it.
think everybody in this lobby right now, the panel, knew about that story months before it went public, because my source could have been damaged if I'd said anything, and it pissed me off. I sat on that scoop of Bruce Campbell doing Sergeant Rock comic series. I think it's a 6-issue series. Wow, man. Yeah, we've known about it for a while, and I'm excited about it. I'm curious how he does. I want to see what happens. But you remember that, guys, when we had to sit on it and not talk about it? That
yeah. Yep, I
fucking pissed
remember.
me off so much. It's like, God, and I kept looking for anyone to hint. And I even talked to Susan over at Rue Morgue. Oh, you already got it. Look at that.
Very good, Steven.
Wait a minute. Does that look like Bruce? Put that back up.
Nah.
He kind of does.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Josh Becker's script, originally called Sergeant Stryker, Bruce was set to play it in the original film, and then because of contracts, he couldn't do it because of him being in SAG. Sam
Pretty
Raimi
soon,
was
you'll be able to read the treatment for that on the Josh Becker website, beckerfilms.com. Everybody check it out.
Did you finally get it set up, Danny?
Yeah, it's launched.
It's launched. It's not finished. It's not anything I'm not putting on my portfolio yet. I've actually got 3 more pages that are going to look completely different because they're sections more so than pages. But he really wanted it up, and the homepage was good enough for him to go ahead and launch it. So
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, his main thing is that he wanted to be able to have the website launch with him doing those morning newsletters that he does.
Crack of Dawn.
Used to be the Ass Crack of Dawn. Now it's just the Crack of Dawn. I think he was told Ass Crack is too adult. Please take that off. So
well, he's probably getting marked as spam too with something like that.
With the word ass in it. Yeah, that would be a concern too.
You should just have a new name. Y'all want to buy some Crack of Dawn?
That's not bad. I'll throw that as well. I'll see what it says.
That's Dave Chappelle. That's Dave Chappelle. Y'all want to buy some Crack of Dawn?
Y'all got any more of that Crack of Dawn?
Crack is ahead of the morning sickness.
You sound like the pedo guy from Family Guy.
You want
He
to go to
also
Neverland?
sounds a little bit like Mr. Bill.
Mm.
Mr. Bill. Yeah, you got to do the. Sure do
Get
miss
your fat ass back
muscly. I sure do miss that muscly paper boy.
I haven't seen the paper boy in a little while.
I didn't get.
Muscly on some bitch.
Where's my paper, you musty son?
You guys do that really too well.
Well, the one that does it well is my old friend Matt. And he found out he could really creep me out when he would walk up behind me while I was in the sofa, because I grew up in a house and have always had a house with the sofa that was not against the wall, but in the middle of the room, facing with the back facing where the door comes in. And he would sneak up behind me and he would do the voice, but he did the whistle. He could do the whistle too.
See, my son can do the whistle. I can't. Like he can.
And that absolutely creeped me the fudge out.
What you need to do is redo the
Nice
Jason,
one.
You need to redo the Jason Voorhees with just the whistle sound. Then have the whistle. It'd be great. Paperboy. You want some New York Times, Daily Post, Toronto Star?
Does anybody know Claude David very well? Because I know him through Facebook, but if he's ever streamed, if you guys have ever seen him stream before.
No.
Hey, Martine, why are you telling us to boycott Black Panther 2? What's that about?
I didn't say it. It's the name of
it's some. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, Lindsay is here. Boycott
racist.
Black Panther is here. Anybody else there? No. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this article so we can start talking about it. I'll read it.
We have to. If you say her name, she appears. I don't want to do that.
No, you got to do it 3 times. Don't say her name 3 times. It's a simple rule. Everybody can follow it. It's not fucking. I'm sorry. There, I screwed up. It's not rocket science. Kathleen Kennedy put her foot down against Marvel announcing Harrison Ford casting at D23. So says report. This article is by Cameron Bonolomolo. Really? I don't believe that. Anyway, Lucasfilm president and Indiana Jones producer Kathleen Kennedy reportedly put her foot down to block Marvel Studios from announcing Harrison Ford's Thunderbolts casting at Disney's D23 Expo. Ford, rumored to be in talks to replace the late William Hurt as General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in the ensemble, was on hand at the convention promoting Lucasfilm's Indiana Jones 5, which will be the 80-year-old actor's last time playing the archaeologist adventurer. According to the Ankler insider Jeff Snyder, who reported Ford is Marvel's top choice for the role, Kennedy advised Disney against taking attention away from the 5th and final Indiana Jones. I just have so many problems with this story, but Marvel Studios was set to announce Ford alongside other Thunderbolt cast members at D23. Snyder revealed on the Hot Mic podcast, calling the Ford recast a done deal. Well, there you go, right there.
Why though? I mean, he's so old. Like, do we want to have to recast that character again?
Yes.
Well, they're going to be rebooting shortly anyway. So, well, I mean, according to Snyder, quote, they actually wanted to announce him as a cast member in Thunderbolts at D23, but they didn't because Kathleen Kennedy put her foot down and said, no, we're going to keep the focus on Indiana Jones 5. Well, that's a direct quote of the guy involved with the film. So there you go. That's doesn't require scooping. That's from the horse's fudging mouth. Kennedy serves
Is there some new rule about cussing I've missed?
Yeah.
Kennedy, who serves as a longtime producer on the iconic franchise created by Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, presented the first footage of the film exclusively for convention goers. A sequel to 2008's dismal Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, James Mangold, Logan, Ford v. Ferrari, and Ferrari. What?
Ferrari.
Yeah, someone doesn't know how to spell. They really do. All these websites need proof editors. Is directing the film from the producers Kennedy, Spielberg, Simon Emanuel, and Frank Marshall. And Frank Marshall, by the way, is Kennedy's husband.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Indiana Jones 5 cast includes Phoebe Waller-Bridge, boo.
Ooh.
Matt Mickelson, yay. Tubby Jones, I don't even know how to react. I don't know who that is. John Rhys Davies, yay. Antonio Banderas, he's taking over the character of Brody, if you didn't know. Disney, I'm kidding. Brody, the actor that played Brody, died back in 90. Anyway, Disney's Lucasfilm is slated to open the as yet untitled Indy 5 on June 5th, 30th of 2023. It's unclear whether Ford has signed on to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Thunderbolts, about a team of anti-heroes and reformed supervillains from director Jake Shearer, Lodge 49. Kidding.
Really, you know, the most exciting part of that cast reading is John Rhys Davies from
Reese.
He's from the first one.
At D23, Kevin Feige's Marvel Studios revealed its Thunderbolts team. Sebastian Stan, Bucky. I don't care about this one. It will open in theaters July 26th of 2024, and that's it. All I got to say is, don't care. I really don't care.
Well, I'm going to say that. Sorry, mate. Sorry, I just wanted to say that you let these people take over, and they will always do it. You know, they allow her to be there. Now they are paying the consequences, and that's why she thinks that she can do whatever she wants. You know.
Does Barton's Viking sound like his voice has gotten a lot more Swedish?
Maybe because I was sick.
Oh, you have a new mic.
Why me?
Yeah.
And I've had this mic. I guess you haven't seen me in a while.
Yeah, it's okay, Viking.
Yeah, the new Raiders of the Lost Ark or new Indiana Jones movie is going to be called Raiders of the Lost Walker.
You guys are awful. No,
No,
so the
it's
trailer.
Tales from the Bridge. What are you
I don't know if the movie's going to be good, but the Indiana Jones trailer was awesome. It was like that was a really good trailer.
My
and they
concern,
do a lot of
Danny,
de-aging with him.
is with Phoebe. Phoebe is the worst part of the last James Bond film with Daniel Craig. They narrowed it down to the worst moments in the film, and every single one of them that didn't make sense were penned by Phoebe Waller. And she's a terrible writer. I don't know why she's getting so much praise and attention. I think it's simply because she's a modern feminist. And I think that's
the whole Fleabag phenomenon. I mean, every chick I know loves that show.
Yeah, I never watched it.
I've never watched it either. Yeah, but
and I don't really
anybody that likes that show.
When you're writing
you probably don't know as many women as I do.
Character, you have to have a woman that understands masculinity and doesn't hate it. They have to understand it and not hate it.
Isn't she just starring in it though? She's not. Was she part of the writing team?
I don't know. That's my concern. If she's just being in it, and if she's co-starring in it, I know that the minute I find out that they bait and switched us again, and she's the new Indiana Jones,
it looks like brothers.
I'm going to wait and find out, and I won't go see it until I know. I'm not going to go see it otherwise.
All right. Well, according to IMDb, anyway, brothers Jez and John Henry Butterworth did the script.
I don't know either of those guys.
Yeah. Is that the same person who does Siri?
Does what?
He wrote Edge of Tomorrow, Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Oh, yeah.
And
I like those two films.
Gary, if you don't recall Toby Jones, you might remember him. He was in The Mist. He was also in the Gary Oldman Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. He's a number of credits.
Dr. Zola.
Zola. Yeah.
Oh, that little guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that guy. He also I liked his version of Truman Capote over Seymour Phillip. Whatever his name is.
The creepy, but not that creepy guy.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's his name.
Yep.
I liked his role, but Toby did a better job as Capote. A much better job. So the casting looks good except for Phoebe. I think she's crap. I just don't like her. I absolutely, as a person, I don't like her.
I don't think I've actually seen her in anything because I've never watched Fleabag. I don't know what else she does.
Neither have I.
But I will say, with this news, and it's apparently coming from the mouth of one of the writers saying this, that Kathleen Kennedy did that. I would think that it's probably what happened. And it's really weird because Bob Chapek should know that Lucasfilm so far is still in the freaking red. They haven't made a profit. And people who don't understand that, you have to understand that after the $4.5 billion spent to buy it, they also paid for, and sometimes double paid for the budgets of films because it would fire somebody and reshoot footage. And then the films tanked because we got the financial reports and saw that two of the main films tanked. So at this point, she's not made any money for Disney.
Also, Gary, let's not forget that she was responsible for Colin Trevorrow quitting episode 5.
Yeah, she was directly responsible for it.
Yeah, and they
which
paid
caused
him
a
all the
lot
money.
of bad publicity. So it's like, and the problem is, and I keep saying this, and I know Keith is a big supporter of Bob Chapek as a businessman. I think he's a terrible manager, and proof of the pudding is that a woman in charge of Lucasfilm isn't the problem. It's who the woman is and how she runs it.
She makes a mean cup of coffee, though.
Yeah, according to
I don't know. George doesn't like it.
I never heard that, but I heard Spielberg compliment her coffee making. But the fact is, when Spielberg opted out, he's not retired. No. When he opted out, I opted out. Not that, because like their last movie was terrible.
Spielberg has become overrated, in my opinion. He was once good.
I've said that so many times because, I don't think he's made a good movie in 20 years, over 20 years. but it's tied in. There's that bond relationship that you have where when you replace somebody who built the house while they're still alive, it really feels hollow. And so I am having my doubts that this is going to be any good. But I will wait to see what certain people say, because I listen to certain people, specific people. And if they like it, then I'll give it a chance. Otherwise, I'm not going to watch it.
The trailer looked good. Shia LaBeouf wasn't in it, so
Well, I'm gonna say this to you, Dork. Many people, including me, thought the trailer for episode 8 was good.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, I mean, a good trailer doesn't equate good movie, but
yes, that is so true.
Shot fired.
Well said, George. What I find a little tasteless is the fact that she thinks that she can overpower even all the divisions of the company. And this is a situation that is taking place thanks to the fact that she has been allowed to continue going, but also to sort of gain somehow power, because they had every opportunity before to just let her go, right? They haven't done it, and they have decided, well, let's keep her going, and it's just now backfiring since the sequels with all the things that Gary already mentioned. I think that it's a high time she was let go, and it's not going to happen as it's evident. But the matter of the fact stands that she's still gaining power. She's still gaining this upper hand because she's allowed to do it.
The problem is, Viking, is that whenever they try to fire her, she jumps on the train to Hogwarts and disappears for a few months and masters new spells to confuse and trick everybody, then comes back in and makes 4 new crappy shows. Kenobi, Andor.
Oh
my God.
There is a much.
Okay, whoa. Let me say right now, because next week
Hogwarts.
I'm going to be doing a review of Andor and a couple other shows. And I'm telling you right now, it's not bad. It's good. I'm enjoying the show so far.
I still haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it tomorrow morning.
No woke shit in it so far that I've seen.
There's no woke crap, but the problem is I really have a problem with the fact that they hired. Please share this. That they hired on the bottom of the screen Nancy Pelosi as one of the characters.
Oh, that's funny. Had I not...
Come on! Now let's put it back up. Put it back up. Come on! I am getting better. That is so good.
That's terrifying, is what that is.
Yeah, it's because of that article where the bonehead made that statement.
She's a supporter of a justified gamer too. So hey, look at that! I win.
Moth Jack Daniels.
Gary's broken.
I was going to bring up that article. We talked about it yesterday on another show, but
I love you, Gary.
I love you too, buddy.
He's gonna fire me.
What's really funny to me is I was going to point this out. I had a run-in with a drunk woman on Twitter who went to town, and she posted this on her own personal page about this article. And she went on to say, I don't mind people having an opinion, but when it's based on bullshit, it's based on bullshit. They know it's based on bullshit, but they still have to protect their bullshit because there's money that they're earning because of their bullshit. That pisses me off. And she just dug into me last night, and I don't think it had anything to do with me. I think she was drunk, thinking about somebody else, and decided to target me. And I just laughed about it. I thought it was funny. She was like, well, who's your source? Every single one of you in the chat right now and in the panel know who my source is. Clearly, this bitch doesn't watch the show. And she's demanding that I tell her who my source is. And I'm like, no. I just said, no, I'm not going to betray my source just to be a dick. I was just being a dick. And then I mockingly laughed at her with the, what's his name from Spider-Man? J. Jonah Jameson, when she said something that she was trying to be all about, and I just went, fuck her. And I'm sure she sobered up and was like, did I make an ass of myself last night? Yes, you did.
Do I know this person?
That's another one.
I don't know. They're actually somebody that follows my buddy Brian, that 70s rock fan. And I just, I didn't block her at first, but then I'm like, I really don't want her. If she does it when she's drunk, I don't want her doing it again. That's an abuse. It's an abuse. And there's no abuse allowed on my page. Not even really from me. The abuse we direct towards Hollywood's different, but I don't make it personal with anybody that watches us or doesn't watch us that's on Twitter. I just don't do that shit. I know 2 F-bombs. I'm sure Don wrote them down. Don is keeping tabs on my language, guys.
Sorry, just to say something real quick. Without going into mentioning names or anything going on behind.
Oh, I said your name. Is that bad?
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah, John was offended.
Now the world will end. All right. The person who kind of went off on Gary last night is someone with whom Disney is kind of like their kryptonite.
Oh yeah, you wrote that in a response to their posts.
When you talk about anything else, this person is absolutely fine and calm. But when you go into Disney, and this is the part of it that's my fault because I'm the one who brought up Chapek. And that's when she went off, and
it's just funny because I thought the whole thing was, I'm on my second box of wine, I think she said, or something like that. And I just laughed about it. I'm like, and then now she didn't tag me. She went and said this on her page, clearly talking about my post because she did it right after our post. And my response really should have been at the time, you don't believe this, huh? Who's your source? I need to know who your source is. Because I'm a jackass. I say things like that to people. And I just didn't really want to get into it. You notice I said one thing to her, and then I did the mocking laugh gif, and I just moved along and hit her. And then today I blocked her. I'm like, there's too much of a chance. If she's going to do it that one time, she'll do it again. Recidivism of stupidity in public is too common. When you get with stupid people that when they drink, what's the?
This rant was brought to you by Gary of Pop Culture Minefield. For once, it's not even.
Oh my!
Oh, what?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, this one's for Steven. I'm giving you the come hither look. You've seen it before.
Yeah, when lunch wants to come back up from my stomach. Come hither.
And that's the look I'm giving you right now, Steven. See
that's
that look?
Cool. I don't know who these people are, but that's nice.
This is deleted scenes, Viking, John.
No, I'm talking about the pictures you're sharing. I know who Das deleted, Martin, Viking, Danny.
You don't know who this is?
Yes. I think
you don't know who that is.
Nope. I have selective eyesight. Block out crap. That's weird.
I want to welcome War Monkey. And you don't want to have a war without a war monkey. I'm telling you right now. Awesome one is here in Dragon Bricks. And if I didn't say already, Chris is here. He was on our morning show today. And of course, the wonderful Lindsay, the cynical geek, who loves masculinity. I read your comment, and thank you. It's good to hear that because I get so sick of these people who don't like. They call it toxic masculinity, and it's like, no, it's just masculinity. Gender isn't toxic. It's not. What's toxic is people. In either gender can be toxic.
Well said.
It's just like when they say something phobe. It's like, first of all, you're misusing the word phobia or phobe because you don't know what you're saying. What are they afraid of? What uncontrollable fear do they have? What is that?
How close is that to you?
It's close. It's in your state right now.
It's moving away from my area.
Good.
I'm in Somerville, which is right here, and it looks like we're going to be out of the
danger area.
Out of the way danger area. Yeah,
that's something I definitely don't miss about living on the East Coast is all them damn hurricanes, man.
And quickly, for member for 12 months, this is a member message, Mr. Trickle Trunk. The PCM Giggity.
I was doing that.
Like I've said many a time.
I'm sorry, Martin.
him and Mexican Iron Man are pretty much the biggest financial supporters of the channel.
I'm just a fish, Martin. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
I do have to.
I welcome any and all help.
I do have to admit, I am toxic after eating Taco Bell.
Oh,
that's why there's no plants behind him. I'm sorry.
You touch a nerve there.
Well, look, when she's a producer, she does her job. The fact is she is the person. What's it called? A person who gets things done. There's a specific word.
You mean an actual paid employee?
No, anywhere. A person who is brought
Productive.
in to get things done. There's a special name for that kind of person. That's what she is. She goes out and gets things taken care of. She's always been really good at that. Facilitator.
Oh.
Facilitator. She is absolutely, and this is on paper, she is a great facilitator. But she doesn't understand the creative process at all. And the only reason she was put in that position is because George Lucas, once again, messed up. He always does this, and he put his trust in her. Their friendship.
I hope it was just his trust.
She absolutely was Judas and stabbed him in the back. But
It also speaks about the level of confidence that he had on Disney and Bob. Who was that?
Bob Iger.
Bob Iger, yeah. By that time, because they said, or I think Iger said in his biography, that they were like sort of pals, mates, and they were talking one day over lunch, and then he said, like, "You're not going to live forever, George. Who's going to take care of your empire?" And then he proposed it, right? But then George, trying to step ahead of that, was like, "Well, yeah, I'm going to give it to you, but I'm not going to give it to you just like that. I'm going to have someone there to protect it." And then Kathleen Kennedy just didn't do what she was hired to do as head of Lucasfilm back then, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. She had an ulterior motive, I think, the whole time. I don't think it was she just decided to one day just wreck Lucasfilm.
No, it's something that was in the working all along. I think she got him to trust her in that way. I'm sure she oversold her loyalty. By the way, hello, Fletcher Williams. Good to see you. Dragon Bricks. Hey. And is there anybody else? I miss anybody? Yeah, I think it's okay.
Paper boy.
Sure do miss my paper boy.
I sure do miss my paper boy. Yeah.
Muscly arm some bitch. Call me.
How many swear words does each individual get on this on here? I just want to make sure.
I'm not supposed to say the F word more than one an hour, and I've said 2. So I've already screwed up.
So
I'm trying to retrain myself. Look, we should all watch our P's and Q's, because the goal is for us to get a sponsor. And to get a sponsor, we need to have at least 20 minutes of clean PG rated language. PG-13, I would say. PG-13.
I'm never coming back on the stream.
Well, I just missed an answer to a question I was going to ask. The PG-13 language only now is what you said?
I'm trying to for at least the first 20 minutes.
That's right.
I'm struggling with it because it's really hard, because I'm military and I've got a foul mouth.
Yeah. So it's.
But I did it with, when my daughter was little, all the way until she was 12. I absolutely G-rated my language as best I could.
What's the reason that you're trying that now on the show? I'm just curious.
Again, because we're trying to get a sponsor. And in order to get a sponsor, we need to have a clean show.
That's going to be hard.
Technically,
Lauren says I'm grounded for saying the F-bomb twice this hour. Yeah. Just to let you guys know, Don Ecker watches and counts how many times I say
he's
the F-bomb.
here right now.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Hello,
Don watches, see if I cuss, and I cussed twice. I said the F word twice.
See, there is something else you can do, Gary, is when you do drop the F-bombs after the show is over, what you can go back through is in the editor and just use one of their audios and just use a split second to There you go.
I would like to do what Craig Ferguson did, where he would cuss and then he would replace the words like tutti frutti.
Ay caramba!
I miss that, man.
Yeah. I miss him so much.
Horty be here. Horty be
back when late night TV was worth watching.
It was.
And now it's just garbage.
Hey, there's good news. Bye-bye, Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's great.
He is, I think it's funny that he is a joke as a comedian, but an unfunny joke. He's always been unfunny. He's a finger pointer, and I'm sorry, you can't be a good comedian and be a finger pointer because you have to be willing to point back at yourself, and he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. If you can't laugh at yourself, you've been making jokes about others.
All hail Lord Thoth. All hail Lord Thoth. Lord Thoth is in the chat.
Brad stays here too.
At least you didn't use my favorite dirty S word. That would be snow. Yeah. It's cooled off here, man. Wow. I actually got cold last night while in bed. I was like, what the heck? I had to get up and get covered. I was like, that's unusual.
It was low 40s.
Yeah, it got down to the low 40s last night. So I'm kind of excited. I'm going to be hanging out with Scott today. Scott's coming by this evening to pick me up to go to dinner.
Are you paying? Or is
cool.
He's paying. He asked me out. It's a date.
So
I know he's married. I know he's married, but it really does come off as desperate. No,
he's not going to write you off as like the 10-year-old, right? So you get the discount, right? Like this is my reverse aging son.
I'm sure he'll use a coupon. He's a cheap bastard. Anybody that knows Scott knows he's a cheap bastard. But we're just going to go to Subway for dinner and hang out, get caught up,
Subway.
So Anima, if I'm on, I'll be on mobile, but I won't be responding because I'll be hanging out with him for a little bit. And then I have a meeting tonight with one of my clients at, I think, 7. Or no, it's right after the show. It's right after the show. 7 o'clock is Scott. And then I have a meeting right after the show with my client. Give permission to date Scott. It's okay.
Who's the big spoon?
Nope. But you said the magic word. So because you said the magic word, you get the video.
Like, wouldn't you know that back door would trigger a trap door?
There you go. And just because I want to...
Where do they teach you to talk like this? In some Panama City sailor want a hump bar? Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
There is some good news, though. Did you guys hear that we're going to get a new live in concert?
You will.
There's a new live in concert, care of Amazon.
Oh,
no. What in the am I looking at? What is this?
That's Lizzo.
That's Lizzo playing a presidential flute that belonged to, I think, Madison.
That has never played before.
Yeah. It's a 200-year-old flute that nobody's ever played before.
So it's
and
not.
Nobody ever
when
will
you
again.
said presidential, I was thinking maybe it was Bill Clinton's.
Hey.
Yeah, somebody got the joke.
Yeah.
Like a blue dress with a stain.
Yeah, Magic Tech. Magic Tech says, "Oh my God, Fat Steven."
Finally, someone screamed my name.
What was that, Danny?
The special prosecutor guy just died the other day. In the that guy, his name I could have said
Ken
his name.
Starr.
Yeah, he just croaked the other day.
And we lost
Or a
Coolio
couple
the day
weeks
before.
ago. You know, that sucks. Actually, I know Coolio. We were friends. We used to drink together at the same bar. I have his phone number in my phone. We used to text and smoke blunts together. So that he lived in my neighborhood. That one was a bummer because I haven't seen him in a few months.
Oh
and
God,
I'll never see him again.
Yeah. So Donna's in the chat. Put that back up. Gary just did my sergeant routine right here. Then he says, Terminex guy doing his thing at the house, left the back gate open. Not to be mistaken with back door, back gate. My Sheltie dog bounced out, almost lost my shit. I bet you did, man. Leaving that gate open for your dog. He lives in the valley there in Southern Cal. man. You don't want your animals wandering around out there. It's a good way. They'll get hit by something or struck by something because there are so many toxic things out there. Jeez. Rattlesnake, because his beagle got bit by a rattlesnake.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it survived miraculously. So, but anyway,
is the valley like Jumanji or something like that, mate?
It's San Fernando Valley. Part of the valley is like suburbs. I lived in the suburbs of San Fernando, but a lot of where I lived as a kid is now strip malls. And then there's the desert part. That's where Don lives. And yeah, he had a rattlesnake come in the house and bit his little beagle. It's Beagle Bailey. Her name is Bailey. Beagle Bailey. I love that. She's a cutie patootie. She really is. I hope I'm hoping he got the Sheltie and it didn't get loose in the desert, man. That'd be scary. It's like people that message me while I'm doing the show don't know that and that's, that always concerns me when people message me that they're not respecting or paying attention to what I'm doing. The only person allowed to message me privately is two people, Keith and Anima. I will not read other people's messages.
Yeah.
Beagle is now an eagle. I'll tell you what, surviving that rattlesnake bite was something else because that little dog should have been killed by that bite.
Where is Don?
Especially a Sidewinder.
Leaving these comments. Is he like not
Facebook.
on YouTube? Oh, Facebook. Okay.
It says in the StreamYard chat, right?
Yeah, it says Facebook. But amazingly, it's showing me his name. Which normally Facebook doesn't show us the names. And I'm wondering if that's because he is confirmed as to who he is. As a personality, celebrity, whatever. However you want to phrase it. Oh, it's your Cocker Spaniel. Okay. All right. Anyway.
Never mind.
No, what?
Oh, I was going through the old text of Coolio because of something somebody in the chat said, like, sure, Danny, sure. And I forgot that I was the one that recommended Masters of the Universe Revelation to him, and that led to a lot of interesting fun. Yeah, I know. Because
go to 2003.
I thought that he was your friend, mate. Why did you do that?
Because I actually enjoyed that show. I'm on the losing end of that side. I know.
No, you're not on the losing side. You're allowed to like what you like and not like what you don't like. It's the same crap. But if you want to cleanse that, I suggest He-Man 2003.
Oh yeah, I've got that box set over there. That's when I got my oldest son into it.
I was rewatching Cops and BattleTech last night.
I'll stick with the old Filmation He-Man.
I also have that box set. I love that. As you can see up there, I got the little Battle Cat and Panther being ridden by He-Man and Skeletor.
Yeah, that's part of it. I have two of those. One's from Toy Tokyo, but it's from the Funko collection of the Dorbs. So I have Skeletor on a felt exclusive Panther. Then I got He-Man on Battle Cat. They're not even opened. They've been sitting there for 2 years.
So Vader.
Hey Vader. Hey buddy. Yeah, we opened this up talking about some Marvel news. Did you guys hear about this Blade movie thing?
The director walked out.
The director quit, right?
Yeah, but now they just released today in an article that they were completely redoing the script.
Oh,
good news then.
No, crazy, that's not good news.
Okay, let's talk after. I have this up on the screen right now for a reason.
Oh, sorry.
It's not just up there for looks. Wrap Pro, the essential source for entertainment insiders, has this article. Warner Brothers Discovery DC chief is in the best job in Hollywood that nobody wants. Kevin Feige doesn't just appear, an insider tells the Wrap. Running DC films could be the sexiest job in Hollywood. Comic book fans were ecstatic when new Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav declared his commitment to finding a Kevin Feige-type leader to take the reins of DC Warner Brothers. Crown jewel for big screen franchises with an ambitious 10-year plan. And for the right person, the job offers a chance to shape beloved characters like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and be as revered in fan circles as Feige has been for Marvel aficionados worldwide. And I'm going to interject here up to Endgame. And Endgame pissed a lot of fans off. So, after several months of searching, why has no one emerged to take over the Walter Hamada, who has served as DC Films president since 2018, but is expected to leave the studio before the contract expires next year? Franchise film producer Dan Lin recently turned down the job after talks with Zaslav fell apart. The studio representatives say Lin wasn't the candidate and that others are in the mix. So there we are. That's it for that article. We know that basically what's going to happen over there is finding another Kevin Feige. First of all, Kevin Feige isn't Kevin Feige. We've seen that since Endgame. We've seen a dismal showing for Phase 4. Absolute crapshoot failure, dismal failure. Numbers were not good. They lost millions of dollars on films that were badly planned. And then, of course, they announce, hey, guys, Phase 5 is going to be better. Look. But then they show who's running Phase 5, and it's the same exact people that ran Phase 4. So how are we going to get a different outcome when, because the old saying is crazy. And the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. And
Very
so
true.
I have little to no hope for Marvel right now because they seem to have lost their collective fucking mind. Sorry, that's 47 minutes. That's 3 F words.
Well, that's also part of. Sorry, mate.
Oh, I was just going to say, related to this story is that supposedly that guy Dan Lin supposedly passed over the Batgirl cancellation. So my buddies from the Popcast were arguing with somebody about this on Twitter, which I thought, if that's the reason, they're probably better off, from what I've heard. But
yeah, I don't know. That's Keith territory. For me, it's like what I see is a constant magnetic draw towards bad ideas. They seem magnetically drawn to bad ideas. Feige in particular seems really drawn to really bad ideas, and then seeing that it didn't work, doubles down on it.
But you know what, Gary?
Eternals
also,
is the prime example.
Yeah, but you know what? Also, there is another part of the equation there, mate. That is Victoria Alonso, and I think that Victoria Alonso has a lot to do with what is going on right now in the MCU and with what Kevin Feige has been approving. So if David Zaslav is really on the lookout for the next quote-unquote Kevin Feige, first thing that he should do is not have any Victoria Alonso's on board, because that is going to screw it all up,
Well, that's just it, because while she is there, she's going to continue infiltrating and doing what she's doing. There's nobody there doing damage control. Nobody at Marvel is doing damage control right now. Nobody. Everything that they put out on Disney starts out good and then craps out.
Yeah.
The only one that I still kind of halfway enjoyed, but I'm still annoyed with, is Hawkeye. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it was problematic in that it's not really a Hawkeye story. It was another one of the bait and switch things they did. Moon Knight started out like the first 2 or 3 episodes I loved, and then all of a sudden they started going in a direction with like, well, what are you doing? And Mr. Knight, come on, that's not Mr. Knight. That's nothing like Mr. Knight. I mean, come on, at least approximate him. So I think Feige and Disney is some kind of a bad mix. But Lucasfilm, which has been losing money, they have been losing money hand over fist for Disney, seems to still have some sort of weight with them, with that story that we read earlier. And if that's true, and I do believe it's true because of who said it. But here's the problem. Something has to be going on. with Kathleen Kennedy. And I don't know what. I know that she was like background noise for a little bit, and that's how we got Mandalorian. And then she got angry. Had her revenge on Favreau. Favreau wants to quit. He's so irritated with her. And you could see it in that interview where they did the round table talking about the making of Mandalorian. And he cut her off. He says, "We're going in order."
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I was like, that was an interesting thing that just happened there. And that they even allowed it. Disney allowed that to still be seen and didn't edit that. That said something. But Bob Iger brought her on, and he's apparently done an Alex Kurtzman with her to where nobody seems to want to fire her. And I think Bob Chapek is a fucking idiot monkey doing the job. I don't think he's very intelligent. He loves her. He's outright said he loves her. So somebody said the other day that I'm not going to say who it was, but it's someone well known, said that she has stuff on Chapek. And a lot of people have said that she keeps tabs on people in order to get them to shut up, say, "Hey, I know about this," or "I have photos or information." I don't know if that's true. I don't. I have no clue. But it wouldn't surprise me.
She probably knows where the bodies are buried.
But when it comes to Favreau, I think that Favreau, if he leaves Disney, will be one of those people that they will entertain taking over to be the head of DC. And he's somebody that I think should be. Because Keith and I have talked about this ad nauseum, that Feige is not a savior, as some people like to keep referring to him as, like, in order to diss people like me for saying this. But Favreau is a real fan. And we want real, true fans in charge of these things, not people like Hamada that doesn't know shit about the comics, always focusing on the top three. There are other characters, Booster Gold, and Blue Beetle, and all these characters could absolutely be great franchises. But they should be, as Zaslav said, all connected, not separating them, making them all part of the same universe. Well, and I like that idea, which of course makes the potential of the Batman sequel ever coming to happen, because it's not connected directly to that world. Although I was pleased to see the Joker was, but we don't know what universe it belongs in. We don't. So they can actually have fun with that, because the Joker is an unreliable narrator. What you see in that film, the first film, you don't know what was true and what wasn't. Absolutely do not.
And remember, Favreau birthed the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the one who started the whole thing going. And by the way, put that message back up. That was a really good one. Steel is something that Keith and I have been talking about, Lord Thoth. We have never seen a proper adaptation of Steel on screen, whether it be small or large, except in animation.
Are you saying that Shaquille O'Neal didn't do a good job, mate?
Who? What? I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Speaking of that, Gary, who would you cast Steel?
Oh, man.
Terry Crews.
I got to tell
you, man.
Terry Crews, great, but I would go for someone
younger
who can do the physical. No, younger doesn't matter. Even though you do want that 10-year window. And some of the guys that I like Crews and Idris Elba, again, great actor for the part, but both of them are hitting 50, Yeah. I think Idris is 50, 51, and I think Crews is turning 50. And it's just, you want somebody that's 35. So, 35 years old, 40 tops. So they got that decade, that 10-year plan. And I got to tell you, the 10-year plan is a real thing. And they did it with, Daniel Craig as Bond. Even though it got stretched out further than normal because of going bankrupt, all that shit happening, it took longer to do the Bond films with him. But they got their 10-year plan with him because they wanted him to play him until he was too old to play it. They went too far with Roger Moore, if you remember that, when he did A View to a Kill. It's a great film. I love the film, but he was so wrong for Bond at that point. Just way too old. And
that's the movie Dalton should have taken over.
That is where Dalton should have taken over. And if not him, of course, Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
But his contract fell through, and that's why that ended up happening. And then they moved to Dalton. And Dalton was he's the only actor to date who actually read and was a fan of the Ian Fleming novels, which is why his version of Bond is really closer, not in looks, but in behavior of the Bond in the books, because he wanted that. He wanted to be more like the Bond of the books. And so he got it. And sadly, his last film didn't do well. They were kind of screwy with the way they put it together. And it's sad. And that one was called License to Kill. Was that one it? The Russian violinist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
No, Pierce. Timothy Dalton. Yeah. I think
License to Kill with the pyramid and the whole religious front they had there.
And that was where Felix Leitner, because that happened in the book.
Yeah.
And his daughter eventually took over being an agent, Felix Leitner's daughter, and working with Bond later on. And I love that Felix was still a close friend of Bond's through the books, even after he had his leg bit off by a shark. So I thought it was neat they kept that in there. People, too dark. It's in the freaking book. Talking about too dark. Ian Fleming wrote that.
Yeah, anyway. That's the thing no one ever remembers is that most of the darker shit from the movies are from the books.
Yeah, and they never pick from the same book. They'll pick little things here and there and put it into a film, and the film will be title is based off of a book like Moonraker, but they pick and choose what they bring in. And of course, they were also competing with Star Wars, so they had to Star Wars the crap out of that movie. And I thought it was fun. Don't get me wrong. It is still one of those guilty pleasures of mine. I don't think it's a very good Bond film, but it's a fun film to watch. The effects, the sound effects were terrible. They were so digital. It was terrible.
Jaws gets a girlfriend.
Jaws becomes a good guy.
Yeah.
And gets a girl, little Heidi girl from, I think she's supposed to be Swedish or something like that. She had the little pigtails out to the side, like Pippi Longstocking, but blonde. Look, I enjoy that film. It is a guilty pleasure, but it is not one of the best Bond films. The top Bond films are Dr. No,
Goldfinger,
From Russia with Love. Goldfinger's. It's not in my top list. It is a good film though. And then Live and Let Die, The Spy Who Loved Me, For Your Eyes Only, and then I really enjoyed GoldenEye. Despite it not being adapted from anything in specific, the title is actually the name of the house that he had, Ian Fleming. And he did write a semi-short story that had nothing to do with what was going on there. And Timothy Dalton's 2 films, and then Daniel Craig's first 2 films I liked. I liked Casino Royale and... what was that second one called? Quantum of Solace. Because it's literally Casino Royale Part 2.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely a direct sequel and follows minutes apart in where the story takes place. I enjoyed those 2 films.
I never liked Craig.
You never liked what?
I never liked Craig as Bond all that much.
He was okay.
I liked him, but speaking of liking things, if you're in the chat, please hit that like button.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I got to tell you, Lord Thoth, that would be a good one.
And he's in the
That's Steven Seagal as Steel. Hey, I'd pay money for that.
I'm not black enough.
Well, look. Nobody's ever seen your face, so you could be.
Let's get on that topic.
Could be.
You know what I like that I was really surprised, and I don't know if you guys have already talked about this because I haven't been around, but is that the new Quantum Leap show? I didn't think I was going to like it. A friend of mine, because he knows I'm a huge.
I lost interest in it in
Quantum Leap fan.
2.
Well, that's all it's out.
1.
You know,
how many episodes?
I enjoyed episode 1. Episode 2, I was like, I got partway through, and I'm out.
I haven't been able to bring myself to watch it yet.
It's cool. It's an actual continuation of the story. I mean, they opened
I've told Animo where I think it's going to go, and where I think it's going to go is this: that the person who messaged him to leap was Beckett.
Yeah, that's what I think. That point in time, he's got to find.
That what this is building to is the finale of the season should be him coming home.
If they only do one season, I think they're going to write it in a way where it can be open-ended. That way, if they don't get renewed, they can always use that as a card. Well, we were going to bring Sam back, give us one more season, type of thing. But
look, I've got a rule, Dragon. I've got a rule. Boring's okay as long as you tell me a good story. And it was a good story. It was the conclusion of the story that was started in the first film. So therefore, I can't agree with you because boring's okay as long as it's good.
I feel like it was more of a slow. I felt like it was more of a slow.
It was a very slow burn film. Yeah. They were actually trying to make a movie rather than make a Bond film.
But it's okay having slow burners, but if you write them properly, right?
And I like the writing of Quantum of Solace. That this organization, which they could not use Spectre at the time. They did not get Spectre back until the fourth film, and they got Spectre back. So,
all right.
And once they got Spectre back, Quantum of Solace or whatever they were called, went away. They went away, and it's absolutely just Spectre. But then they screwed up with I just forgot his name, the main villain,
Blofeld.
Or
as they call him, Stockman.
I think that they really screwed up with him majorly, and that's why I didn't think that film was good, because the villain was wrong, and then also with the one with
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz is brilliant, dude.
Oh yeah,
that's an amazing actor.
I would pay per view to see him read the Los Angeles phone book. That guy, the way he speaks would make it fucking amazing. It's over an hour, so I can't count anymore. But anyway, the other one, Spanish actor, he was really good in that film, but I didn't like the film.
Javier
Bardem. Javier Bardem is brilliant.
Javier Bardem.
But the problem is, it's like, let me get this straight. You knew where everything was going to be, and your buildup is to have a shootout in a courthouse. Your entire plan led to a shootout in a courthouse. All these things that you did, planning way ahead, being so far ahead of the game, that you knew that subway train would hit right at that moment and come in at Bond. That's how advanced your planning has been. And then your final plan is a shootout in the courthouse. I thought that was some of the dumbest writing I'd ever seen in my life. It's a huge logic problem.
He just wanted to go back to basics.
But then it leads to that scene at Skyfall where we get to see Bond play with his old I forgot the name of the car.
Aston Martin
DB3 or DB5.
DB5. I loved that part. And then I'm sorry, man. I'm a sucker for a good final line. Last rat standing. If you don't think that's that is Sam Spade level ending line right there.
Yeah.
Mickey Spillane, that kind of last line where just before you kill the bad guy or as he's dying, you get to deliver that line. What a freaking line. I love that part of the movie. I just dislike some of the logic issues with Bardem's character and how smart he was supposed to be or who was working for him. That was the thing, is we needed to have an opposite cue. We needed to meet the opposite cue, and they never do. It's an unfulfilled build up to nothing.
It's a shame then, because Javier Bardem is a good actor. Just look at him at No Country for Old Men. I mean, he's that
is not one of my favorite films, but I've watched it multiple times because of Bardem.
Yeah, he does a good job
good in that role. He's creepy as hell.
Oh yeah.
So, but anyway, Connery is probably still my number one Bond. Number two is
Pierce
Timothy
Brosnan?
Dalton. No, Timothy Dalton. Number 3 is Pierce Brosnan. Number 4 is Roger, and number 5 is Daniel Craig, and then number 6 is the Aussie guy that I didn't think was very good,
George Lazenby.
Yeah,
George Lazenby.
I like the documentary, how he got that part, because that's amazing how he lied his way into that role. Lied his way into that role. Absolutely 100% embellished everything about himself to get that
There's
role.
no internet back then.
Yeah, they couldn't find out. Sure, mate, I'll do a lot of commercials back home. No, he didn't. He did one thing and talked his way into playing Bond. And he looked the part, really, to be honest with you. He really had the look. But not one of my favorite Bond films. I really didn't like it. What
I
did
think
he
that I
say?
agree with John.
Is he shitting on you? Wait, what did he just say?
They're talking about Quantum Leap.
Oh, Quantum Leap. I'm not surprised that you like it at all. No, episode 1 was not bad. I liked it.
I just
Episode
really,
2, they lost me.
I like that it's not a reboot. I like that the very first thing they do.
Well, they dedicated it.
At the end, they dedicated it to Dean Stockwell. But the very first thing, once the show starts, it's a black screen with the text, with the old intro. In 1990, whatever, Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the Quantum Leap accelerator and vanished. And then so they really set it up as a continuation, and it's his daughter and a group of people that redid the Quantum Leap. And Ernie Hudson's character is the dude he saved in Vietnam, in the episode Vietnam. So I really like a lot.
He's the one single actual direct connection to the series.
Well, no, in episode 2, Al's wife, because it's Al's daughter who's
doing things with Beckett and with
Dr.
the main
Song.
character.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to like it. The Popcast guys raved about it. My mom's been saying it's good, so I was like, you know what, I'll check it out. And I'm actually glad I did. I think it is going to set up to bring back Sam, and that would be great. It's like the 30 years of
that would be the
wanting
logical outcome of this season, because they went out of their way to show a secret text, and the only logical explanation is that it's Beckett.
Yeah. And in the second episode that you haven't watched, they found a drive, and there's a dot. They figured out where Dr. Song's trying to get to. So there's a specific place and a place in time that he's trying to get to, and that's probably where Sam leaped last. Because he's not in the chamber anymore or whatever. So
yeah, because they never. I don't think they show where he leaped in the last episode.
But he leapt into his own body in the last episode.
Oh, he did?
He leapt into his own body in the last episode of the original series. So that's why his body's not in the imaging chamber anymore. So, they just think he's lost in time. So I don't know how they're going to bring him back. I mean, at all. So it'd be interesting. I don't know. This show got me really intrigued.
He said he's not involved with it.
No, I know. He said that.
Oh,
because he's not, but he's for now. But he's heavily. They show his picture.
Yeah, actors would never lie.
No,
to the public. No, they would never lie about being in something and then later finding out they were actually in it. We never would have that happen.
Well, he's kind of technically in it, because they show when they're explaining him, the girl that's playing the hologram, her name's Addison. She's talking to Ben, who's basically the Sam of this show, and her hologram is obviously not nicer because it's 30 years later, and she's got her little palm device, and Ziggy. No, Ziggy's the computer. I forget what they call the little handheld device Al carried around. She's got an updated version, and it shot up like a hologram, kind of like a Star Wars type thing, and it was Scott Bakula, like what they were talking about. So the character is very much still a part of this show, which I like, even though the actor per se isn't, or at least isn't yet.
So, Dork, a fast question for me to understand how this is working out. Would you say that this is to Quantum Leap what Cobra Kai is to the Karate Kid franchise?
I think that's what they're going for. That's exactly what they're going for. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Martin.
It's a good question.
You're welcome.
I work out.
Hey, we got to see Chris work out earlier during our show, our live stream.
Yep. Showing off for the ladies.
He was showing off for the ladies. That's right. But we've covered it. Keith's not here. Where is he, John?
He's at Archon in St. Louis area. It's actually in Collinsville, Illinois, which is just across the river from St. Louis. But
From St. Louis.
So yeah, him, our friend Tina, everybody, all our friends are there. I'm not there because I can't afford it because I'm poor. So
the one thing before we go, I would like to post is this article, and I'm going to put it in the chat so you guys can go read it for yourself. I am a big Christopher Lee fan. Always have been since I was a little kid. And when I found out what he did in the military, that he was first cousin to Ian Fleming, it blew my mind. My little world was rocked by Jesus, Stephen. Was rocked by the information. She-Wreck. I have no clue whether it's good or bad. I will not watch it. There's not enough money in the world to pay me to watch that show. But here's Christopher Lee's an article about him. You can also go to this website to listen live, and I'm sure that you can listen to some of these or watch videos about these things. But Christopher Lee was he really was one of the most prolific actors in motion picture history. And what people don't know is this guy was a well-trained killer, and which is what led to that moment when Peter Jackson was saying, I need you to make this sound when you get stabbed in the back. And he's like, I've stabbed people in the back. That's not the sound they would make.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you it that shut Jackson up.
Wow.
Because he really was a killer, man, and great actor. When Universal Pictures licensed out the characters to Hammer, I think it was one of the best decisions that they had made in a long time, because the monster movies were dying. They ended up as like anecdotes in comedies with Abbott and Costello and stuff like that. You know,
there's nothing wrong with those movies.
No, they're great films, but the fact is they were dying, and they needed to put new life into it. And so Hammer were making films that were X-rated over in England, but would be R-rated here. And so you'll notice, like, if you ever see any of the old subway posters or movie posters from England, you'll see an X rating for a lot of the Hammer films because of the gore and occasional boobs, you know. But Christopher Lee came right in, man, and he played Dracula. And then, just like Boris, he played the Mummy and he played Frankenstein.
Yep.
And I love that. And of course, Peter Cushing and he were best friends until Cushing's death. You know, they were close friends. In fact, did you see someone posted a picture of them in the last year of his life in, I think, between 90 and 94, a picture of Cushing at his house with Christopher Lee smiling for a photograph.
Yeah.
And that cheered me up. I'm like, God, I've never seen that photo before. What a beautiful picture. But, Kingsport Cal is here. Hi, buddy.
Yeah.
But we're going to be wrapping up here. Anybody want to talk about anything before we go?
I'm good.
I tried to sneak in a few things.
Because you covered the Marvel thing you wanted to talk about, right, Danny?
Yeah, there was one other thing besides Blade, but I don't remember it anymore, so that's fine. It's like, it's gone.
Yeah, that's why they call it dope, buddy. That's why they call it dope. Steven, anything you want to talk about?
Not really. I'm good. I'm
She-Wreck.
Oh, it was probably She-Hulk, but you already told me your thoughts on that, so we're good.
Yeah, I'm just not going to watch it. It's like, I know Mikey likes it, and he says, I like how it replicates a lot of the comedy of the comics, and I'm like, did we read the same comics? Because it does not. It does not replicate the comedy of that.
The closest it gets to is the Dan Slott stuff.
Yeah.
My big thing is, you know, that I don't like anybody wagging their finger at others in a show, especially over gender issues. And for her to proclaim what she's going through was worse than what Banner went through was just shameful and embarrassing for the program. And then turn right around and do the twerking after such a massive, important feminist attack on man.
That was ridiculous. That almost, because Kadish and I, we review it over on Salty Trekkers channel on Thursdays, and Kadish didn't come back for 2 weeks, and he finally joined us. He's like, well, I finally went and watched the 3 episodes, so I'm back. I can watch them finally. He's like, but he said he just had to forget about his complaints and just kind of try to enjoy it for what it is, which is just like it's a rom-com sitcom for girl. It's really written for women, especially this last episode where she gets ghosted by this guy she dates, and the whole episode, there's literally like 60 seconds where they're doing a little montage of her trying to find signal on this like compound in I don't know. So there's little things about it I like.
I did like the whole thing with Abomination being a guru now, and with all the C-list and D-list villains.
Oh, see, now Matt Vader's with me on this.
They're like Z-list. Oh yeah, of course Matt is. I already knew that.
Yeah, but Kingsport Cal, I don't know. I don't understand oversaturated. There's no such thing with comics and comic heroes. That's just ridiculous. I mean, you're talking about a genre that's been around for 80 some years. At what point was it oversaturated?
No, it was not.
I'm not calling bullshit on you personally, but on your statement, I am bullshit.
I was maybe in the 90s when they were putting out like 20 copies of the same comic with the different.
Well, yes, that's why I quit in '86. That was bad, but that was a marketing thing. It wasn't like comics were oversaturated. It was a marketing thing, and it abused the readers. And by the way, I saw something else I wanted to. There it is, Parrot Head. He is apparently in St. Louis at Archon. So, and then Anima, she's with me on this.
Now I remember. Did you guys already talk about that they're changing the Armor Wars show to a movie? Have you talked about that or seen that?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so that's not going to be a Disney Plus show anymore. It's going to be an actual movie now.
Movie. Okay, and that's going to have Barenthal in it, right? That's the rumor I heard.
Ooh, I don't know. That would.
I haven't heard that.
I know Dave Cheadle's supposed to be in it as the lead.
Yeah, Don Cheadle.
Well,
Don Cheadle.
Because people keep posting the image of him in his armor, Punisher. So with Barenthal in the face. So I'm wondering if that's something people are wishing, or if there's a rumor of it. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to it. But I
want a Hollywood Reporter, so I'll share the link in the private chat if you want to see it sometime.
Yeah,
okay. we got that link. We got that information at the same time as we got Deadpool and Wolverine. So that kind of overshadowed everything else that came out that day.
And it's funny because the whole Wolverine and Deadpool thing was scooped by Mikey again months ago. That's what's going to end up happening.
See, that bothers me though, because if they own, because Disney owns the Fox as well, so that includes just like the Logan movie, right?
Yeah, well, they addressed that in that second
dead.
Video. They addressed that. That's the first thing he says. Yeah, go ahead, John.
He's dead. He's dead in 2029?
2029, and this movie is going to take place before then. So
and we'll just completely ignore the fact that they've introduced multiverse. So.
Or that,
that Endgame pushed the narrative forward to 2000.
Once they introduce the multiverse of madness, the chances are that this is a different Wolverine that's in Deadpool's universe.
And I said when Fox got bought by Disney, that if Disney wants Hugh Jackman back, they will back a truck up to his house.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
I think was it Parrot Head or somebody posted that on my page or in the chat
of that money truck up.
A money truck dumping money into a lawn. That was hilarious. No, it was actually on Facebook. It was on Facebook.
They just better not ruin it, because we know Disney's track record as much as we know it's under Fox, this new rated R section for adults. their whole.
This evening is ruined. Look, wait, what? This evening is ruined.
All right.
I love the word ruined.
But like Fat Steven, I also don't have much faith in this thing because I don't.
I have
think
zero
that...
faith in Marvel right now. I do have faith in Ryan Reynolds though.
Yeah, and with Levy being involved in it too, I think we're good.
The thing I was trying to say before the clip popped up was with Disney being so anti-masculinity and toxic masculinity, that film is giving nothing but. Will they allow it? They turn on that cuss they've been pandering to for so long?
I don't reckon they're going to allow it.
I don't know. What is this? Oh.
Yes, it's going to be rated R, yes.
It's going to be rated R, yeah.
They announced a whole new adult rated R section for Disney. They did that this year.
I had to put I have to type in a pin now because my account on my Disney Plus is
the
rated R.
Alatar is here. What's up, man? Awesome One is here. Did I miss anybody? Is that it?
Alatar, you're right. That's the
Jester
biggest deal. It's not there's too many comics movies. There's too many badly written comics movies.
Yes.
And talent is right.
They talk about fatigue. The only fatigue there is bad against bad writing. That's it. So I want to thank Stephen for being here. Danny, thanks for popping in, buddy. Good to see you.
Yeah.
John,
likewise.
as always, it's always good to see you. Stephen, it's good to see you, my friend. Deleted Scenes. And Viking, I'm glad to see you back on. I heard you were sick, so I'm glad you're feeling better. And of course, and I of course want to thank Martin Acosta Santana for being the right side of my brain and running chat. Thank you so much, my friend. You really do, man. Every show you save me. So, Alex Moore, welcome. So that's it, guys. We got our show in without Keith, not here to help us do the show. But I want to thank everybody for being here. It's been a great week, man. It was a fun week. Exhausting week, but it was a fun week. And most of all, I want to thank all of you who stick with our channel and show so much support to what we do. I do this show because of you guys, and otherwise I wouldn't even bother. But with that, we're out of here.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now.
Penny.
Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.
See you, world.
That's all, folks.